everybody, welcome back to Plum Figgy. This is Tammy. Okay, so I have done the sewing around all the edges. For those of you who don't know what's going on, maybe this is the first time you're seeing this series. What I'm doing is I have these tag printable. That was a freebie from My Porch Prints for buying some other digital kits of hers. And so I decided to go ahead and decorate them and kind of make them the base for a new kind of journal. So yeah, I haven't done anything like this, quite like this before, so it's kind of an experiment, but we're having fun. So in the last couple videos, and I'll link all of the videos down below in case you want to go and check them out, and they are also in my Christmas playlist and my Craft With Me playlist, so you can find them in both of those places. But we have been spending some time just decorating the tags, yeah, as you can see, there's two different backgrounds. This one has kind of just a script, and then this one is music. So on the back sides of each, so while you were away, or while I was away this morning, just now, I just sewed around all the edges of the tags, and then sewed around the edges of the fabric, and then we have our back side page, which I had already assembled. So it is basically, it's cardstock and then some packing paper and then vellum, and then this is from a different printable, which is also going to be linked down below in case you're interested, as part of a printable. And so then I just sandwiched this fabric in between. I did all the sewing and then I glued it together. So I tried to make it look like I sewed around this perimeter, but I knew it wouldn't look very nice on this side if I actually did it that way. So I sewed both of them separately and then glued everything together. So so at this point, now we're at the stage where I need to put these into some sort of order. And then I'm turning this into a journal. So we've got some writing papers to add. These are all tea-dyed papers here, and then I've got some other from a different printable, just various writing papers, and then the back sides of these have kind of a lacy design from different shops on Etsy. So like usual, I will make sure to link everything that I use for printables down below, and that way, in case you're interested and you wanted to try and do this yourself or use it for a different project, you have the information available. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do now is, and I cleaned my desk. It's not completely clean, but I got some of the glue off, which makes me happier. Okay, so what I want to do is, I think, order these in some kind of order. I kind of feel like this might be the first page because it might be my favorite one. And then I want to do every other one with script and then music. So I'm just gonna organize these into script and music, and that way hopefully it'll be a little bit easier. So these two should be music. All right. Okay, so I think, yes, we're gonna do this one first. The other thing is, I didn't really pay close attention to, some of these have lines and then some of them are not lined like this. So I kind of want to, that's not as important to me, but I kind of want to think about that too. So, okay, so we've got this one, and then this one, not lined. This one is lined, yes. This one, Those three are all lined. Nope, this one's not. Okay, so it's not going to matter. I'm going to pay more attention to, maybe this one's last. Pay more attention to what's on the front side. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, because you'll have the writing paper in between anyway. So where were we? Okay, so music. And I said I want that one last, and I don't want this one last. Well, I guess it won't be last. We'll do this one and then this one. Okay, so that's our order. Let's just quickly run through it. So super pretty wreath and that whole thing. Good tidings of comfort and joy. Happy holidays. A winter wonderland. Oh, I didn't want these two. They're not. Okay. There were two that had basically the same layout. Yeah, these two. I didn't want them back to back. Okay, so let's see. Well, I guess let's switch those. Or maybe we don't switch those two. Keep those the way that they were, and I'll switch this one with this one. I think I like that better anyway. So music, script. So this one goes here. Okay, let's try that again. So we've got this one, Winter Wonder. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay. Happy holidays. Good tidings of comfort and joy. Merry, Merry Christmas Day. Making spirits bright. Peace on earth. Around the Christmas tree. You know what? I want this one last, and I just don't care. That's what we're going to do. Because we want to end with peace on earth. Isn't that right? Okay, so now what I want to do is decide how many pieces of journaling paper we'll have in between each card. I don't want it to be super, super bulky, and it's already kind of getting that way. This is already a bit thicker than I kind of expected, so this is about 1 inch thick already. So I don't want it to be too crazy. Then the other thing is the binding method. There's several different ways that I could do this, but in the end, I think what I want to do is have each piece of paper be like this and not folded like this as a signature. And then we'll punch holes, 3 holes into each of these and the paper, however they work out to be that way. And then I'm trying to decide if I want to use the little ring things, or actually I was kind of thinking it would be kind of fun to kind of double or triple up some of this hemp twine and then just use that as the binding. I've done that in the past. It's a little bit floppy, but I actually think that might be the way that I want to go this time. So the best part is if we put it together like that and realize that it's really not great, I can always come back and do the rings instead. So don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, but we need to, and maybe we don't add paper in between each. Actually, maybe we just do paper in between each two. So then 1, 2, 3 signatures, I guess, of paper then. Okay, so, and then the other thing is I didn't necessarily want to use every single one of these because I didn't think that the backside of every one of these was quite right for Christmas. Like this one has kind of some pink tones in it, which this one's kind of a maybe for me. So I'm just going to kind of go through these and decide. Like this one is definitely spring, so this one's a no. This one is maybe. Definitely no. Definitely no. Maybe. See, those three all have the same background. Same with that. And those all have that same background. Yes, for sure we're going to use that one. And this one. No. No. Oh gosh, no. That's not at all Christmas. Yes. And I think this one is a yes. Also yes. I need to get rid of some white edges on some of these I can see here. So I don't know that we need to use every single one of these, but at least we'll have something to work with. Okay, definitely no, because it's very spring-like. All right, so I'll put these off to the side and keep those for another project. I think these are all very much the same. Oh, well, one of those snuck in. Okay, so I guess we'll keep that. The front sides of these are pretty dark, which I don't mind, but I think I might want to incorporate a couple more of these, at least 2 more of those. I don't know that we need every single one of these. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the bluish one and keep this one. I think the color will work a little bit better. Definitely want to keep this one. This one was kind of... I think we'll keep that one. Definitely want to keep this one. This one is a repeat. So let's put that to the side. Let's keep this one. And then let's pick one of these and call it good. So I think we're at capacity here. So at this point, these are all the same. So I'm just going to look at the fronts and kind of see what we got going on. Okay, so 2 dark ones, medium and 2 light. I think I want another medium one. I think maybe this one for sure. Yep, okay. Yep, I like that. Okay, so knowing that we're going to not fold these, now I want to rip them down the middle and then we'll separate them. And I'll do the same with some of these. I'm not going to do them all, but we definitely, well, let's go ahead and go through these then too. So I know I definitely want to use this one. I think some of these are kind of the same. Actually, let me count. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pages here. Divided by 3 would make 4 of those for each individual section. We've got, so 4 in between. I like to stick to around 8 to 10 pages per signature usually, which then is doubled, so you have 16 to 20. So okay, so we've got 4 of these. We'll have 2 of these. I'm just gonna go ahead and start bucketing, I guess, what papers we've got. Okay, so I've got a couple of those. I'm gonna put those to the side. We've got 1 of these, so we'll definitely use that. I've got 1 of these. Let's do 2 of these. Okay, so let's start with that and then see how it's going. I'm going to take care of all of this off camera and I'll be right back when it's all done. Alright, so I have everything separated, and then I went ahead and inked around all the edges of these papers because some of them had just some white showing from being torn. Okay, so we said that we were going to do 3 writing sections. So I think what I'm going to do is Just divide all these papers into three and see how, 3 piles, and see how we are as far as numbers go. So nothing scientific here at all, just dividing these into different sections. And then obviously I'll have to tear them down, these bigger ones down a little bit more to match the size of our cover images. So quickly finishing this. I like to do it like this because it really kind of seems to even things out. It's a fast way for me to organize papers without having to really think too hard about it. So I think we might have an even number here. Okay, let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Could I have planned that any better? No. Okay, so now at this point, what I'm going to do is just reorder each of these piles so that we don't have all the same types of papers. Actually, though, what I think I should do first is tear some of these down because some of these are going to be too tall. So let me quickly figure that out. Okay, so I went ahead and ripped down all of the papers from each of the different signatures. So let's go ahead and organize our pages. I think I want this one first, one of these behind it. One thing I like to do is kind of organize the different kinds of papers that I have. Those two are a little bit different. Okay. Just kind of helps me plan things out a little bit. So, put this one. Okay. Put this one. I wanted to make sure and keep the little holes. It really doesn't matter too much, to be honest. I could move this one up, put this one there, and then end with this one. Okay, so I do like that idea. I do like to stagger as much as I can. It makes sense. So here we have signature number 1, and we'll just go ahead and place this one in between where it's gonna go. Actually, oh, I'm all over the place. Okay, so I'm gonna put this that way, and then those two will go on top. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just organizing myself over here off to the right. Okay, so that one, got one of those. Couple of these, this one. Okay, so I'm thinking let's start with one of these, add that, we got 2 of those. Okay. Put this big one in the middle. All right, something like that. These all got turned upside down somehow. Okay. One of those. Okay. Let's see. Start with this dark one. The last one I had these at the bottom, so I'll put those at the top this time. Maybe put this one down here. Do one of these. That. One of those. This, and that. Okay. I think we got it. So, pull this back over here. Okay, so immediately I can see I need one of these to be shifted down. So let's just do that right now. Which means I'll shift this one up so that it's staggered. And actually, I should just take off 1/4 of an inch of width on both of those. So I'll just do that real quick. Should fit better now. All right. And the thickness isn't terrible. I think this is definitely workable. So at this point, I need, what's going on here? Oh, we've got our velvet. I'll take the lint roller to this at the end. It's gonna keep doing that. Okay. So at this point, I think what I need to do is put some holes in here. I'm going to find, here they are. I have some hole reinforcement labels. These I found on Amazon. And as you can see, I've already inked them up. If you want to do that, you need to get the kind that are not glossy. And here's the label, if you're curious. And here's the bottom. I'll go ahead and link these down below. I kind of took a shot in the dark. I did some looking on different types of and brands of these on Amazon and just kind of read through some of the read through some of the reviews to see if I could figure out which ones were glossy or not, and kind of took a shot in the dark on these, and it worked out. So I'll save you all that time and effort, and I'll link these if you were wanting to do some hole reinforcement, make it easier for you. Okay, let me get my hole punch. And some eyelets. And then this isn't going to be super exciting, so I think what I'll do is kind of start the process with you and then finish it on my own and bring you back at the end. But basically all I'm going to do is I should make a template. That's what I need to do. I need to make a template, and then because I've done this before, and that's the easiest way that I've found to do this. So let's see. I just have some spare cardstock from putting these together, and actually it was the perfect, well, it's kind of the perfect height. Let me knock some of this off. Okay. So where is, so we want it to be on this side. And I want it to be roughly 1/4 of an inch, well, in, but I definitely need to, I don't know that we need this anymore, so let me move that off to the side. Okay, so I know which side is up. I'm gonna put top here. Top, and then that means this side needs to be marked because I like to work from the front. And then I'm just using my centering ruler to find the center, and it's hard when the center doesn't quite match up with maybe a line that you're looking at on your mat there. Okay, so I'm trying to decide how far in. So here, let me line this up at 3. I'm looking at the inch mark, and I think 1/4 of an inch in is where we want to be. So I'm just going to mark that down here so it's easier to now line up with my grid on my mat. Make sure that this is the equal distance. I don't like using this mat necessarily for this kind of thing. The other mat that I normally use without the camera has smaller lines. So actually I need to use a pen because this will wear off eventually. Okay, so there's my line that I want my center of my dot to be on for my punch. And then here is center. So I'm just going to circle that. Now let's find, line that up. Let's find an equally distant, I'm thinking 2.5 and then 2.5. Okay, so that's where our holes are going to be, and I like to circle them because for me visually it just makes things a little bit easier for some reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm using the, oh, well, you've got 2 different sizes of hole punches on this one. I'm using the larger of the 2. I don't know what the diameter of that is, and I'm just putting, I don't know how well you can see this, but in the line in the middle there, I've got my crosshair directly in the middle, and I'm going to just do that for all 3. Okay. Get rid of those. Now, got my 2 boards. I'm just going to do one at a time though, and line this up. I'm looking actually through the fabric. I can see the shadow of this back piece behind it, which I'm sure you cannot see that in the camera at all, but this is tricky. Okay, let me see. I might decide that top becomes bottom and do these from the other direction, because then I can line up the bottom of this with the edge of this a little bit easier. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. Okay, so let me I feel like I need some clips to help me so that these don't move around. This is going to take me a little while, so, but it's important to do it well so that everything lines up. Otherwise, later on, it's a lot more frustrating. Okay. Maybe once I start getting the hang of this, I might do more than one at a time. But, and I'll turn my light on so it's easier to see what I'm doing. But having the crosshair in there is helpful, so I can line this up. Okay, so we've got one punch done. Two. Come out of there. This is the one thing I don't like about this tool. All the little punches, just, they like to stay inside there. Okay, and three. Pull this off. See how well I punched. Well, the holes aren't much bigger, so I guess I did a good job. Okay, so this way up. Now, let's go ahead and add some eyelets. And I'm thinking I want this color, which is an antique gold bronze. My other choice could be the antique silver, but I like the idea of, since this is such a bright white and silver, I don't really think I want an antique silver with that. So I'm going to go for this one. And then, I don't know about you guys, but this little cheat sheet that came with the, whatever this tool is, I have to look at it every single time because I always forget how they're supposed to be arranged. Okay, so, and then these eyelets, I actually bought these from AliExpress, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't probably find the same exact ones again, but if you just search for eyelets there, you can find all kinds of different ones. So actually I'm just gonna dump a bunch of these out because I'll need them. And the same for the back sides. Okay, so it's pretty simple. I like to stick them in, and actually I won't do this, but I like to use the edge of my table, but for this I'll just put them on there so that they don't fall out. Okay, so I'm looking now, and I don't like that these are overlapping with the tag. I might shave off just a hair from the back side of this, but, and I know that every one of them is going to be a little bit different, but that'll kind of help keep that from happening. Okay, so I think this is actually already in the right position. So here we go. Let's watch my struggle. Yeah, I'm looking to see which direction I need. Which direction this needs to go. And I think it's that. Okay, so just stick that in there. Push down. Oh, I'm going to have a sore arm tomorrow. Okay, and do that times 3. Again, when you have a little tweezer like this, it makes it so much easier. I want to look at the back sides. Is that right? Is that the way that they're supposed to look? I guess so. That's the way the instructions say. Okay. Come here. Hole number 3. Okay, so that's gonna be my process now. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing that for the rest of these, and I'll meet you back when I'm all done. Okay, so that took a little while, but I'll show you a couple of pages. So we've got all the eyelets in, and then I added the little hole reinforcers to each of the writing pages. So now all that we have to do is painstakingly thread our twine through each of the holes. And like I said, I think I want to do 2, if not 3 widths of this in each hole. So I think what I'm going to do is just cut myself a nice long length of it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I want 3 because I want to make sure it's nice and secure. And there. Okay, so probably what I'm going to do is put this on fast forward because it's really not anything overly exciting. I'm not quite sure the best way to go about doing this other than probably just take my covers and go one at a time, I suppose, and try and line up my papers. Unfortunately, all of my oh, you know what I should do? I should put some washi tape around this so that I can more easily thread it. Through the holes. Okay, so yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just put you guys on fast forward and you can watch me struggle through this. Alrighty then. That was a little bit fiddly, but it wasn't too bad. I definitely have taken longer to sew some signatures into a book before. Okay, so as you saw, I basically just made myself a little needle, sort of, with some washi tape on the end, and these clips were really helpful for keeping the end of the string from slipping through. So I think at this point, all I'm gonna do now is I want to keep a little bit of space for well, most likely the journal will grow a little bit. So I don't want it to be super tight to the pages. Plus, I think having that's probably about right, because then that way when you flip things over, it'll be more flat then on the table. So literally now just making some knots, and then we'll be done. I'm excited about this. As I was just finishing lacing the holes, I thought, I wonder if I should do my December daily like this. Maybe just kind of recreate the wheel here for my own December daily this year. I don't know. I'm still kind of trying to decide how I want to do mine. I'll be making mine this weekend. I'll probably bring you along. Oops, I missed one here. Get that in there. At least, maybe not for the full creation of it, but I'll at least do a flip through this weekend, if nothing else. Okay, so I'm going to keep these long just in case I need to, because I don't want to have to redo all that, but this should, move all these off to the side. This should flip pretty well, and it is. So yeah, I think this will work well. Okay, so, I mean, it's not the most efficient way to turn pages, but honestly, I really like how this turned out. All right then. Well, let me go ahead and snip off the extra, and I think it would be kind of fun too. I'll save all these little pieces to reuse another time, to maybe even add a charm or two on here, but these will just kind of float around however they are. And yeah, sorry, you probably couldn't see all that. I'm liking this, guys. I think this is fun. Okay, so here we're in the middle now, so it's a little bit easier to flip. But yeah, I like how it lays flat. You can easily write there, easily do whatever you want to do there. I think this is cool. Okay, well, this was a fun little project. Okay, guys, I hope you had a fun time coming with me on this little fun project. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.